Hello BookTube, we're in a different area of my room as you can see, and today I'm going to be showing you some my translated classics because it's a great excuse to have multiple copies of the same book, and just anthologies, some like author collected works and all that. But yeah, so we're going to go through these two shelves. I know you can't see them, but that's what we're going through. Just a bit of a general about the shelf, but behind me is the 18. Oh my god, I can't do it. Behind me is the 1800 shelf. Here is pretty much, so there's a massive CD player here. This white shelf here is like four big like boxes pretty much. Here you can just see is Game of Thrones, and on the other side is the Lord of the Rings. Got some more anthologies here because I can't fit them on the shelf. So yeah, got translations here, anthologies down here at the bottom. Here is the kids' books, and then right beneath that on the corner you can't see is all my Bibles. So I know that's a bit unhinged organizing, but it looks really nice when it's together. So let's start. The translations. This area here I call it translation station. For those who know, but yeah. So this is translation station. First book we have here is War and Peace. This is the Constance Garnett translation. I'll be reading within like a couple of days or whatever once I finish Ulysses, which I'm 1000% loving right now, and I'm so happy to be reading it. I really mean it with all my heart. But anyway, here's Constance Garnett. I've never read her for Tolstoy, and I'm really excited to because I've always heard she's so great. Not great, but I've always had a soft spot for her because I love her Chekhov and Dostoevsky so much. But anyway, we got War and Peace here. This is not the only time you're going to see War and Peace here. This is where all my other editions of War and Peace hide. Then we got Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, of course. This is for Constance Garnett again. This is a flexi-bound. I don't mind flexi-bounds, but if I ever see like a good paperback of this, I'm taking this one. I'm taking that paperback over this, to be honest. Yeah, I read this a couple weeks ago, reread, and yeah, I love Crime and Punishment. It didn't lose its effect on a reread, and that really blew me away because I thought I would, not be as shocked and as gripped, but I really was, and I really loved it. So I'll put this on the floor for now. Here we have the Penguins. First one we have channel favorite, of course. We got Bede. We love Bede. I have the Oxford translation on my actual classic shelf. But yeah, we got Bede here. We love Bede on this channel. Bede is one of the greats. Same as Augustine's Confessions. Here, this is an older translation. This is the first one translation I read it in. This is by R.S. Pine Coffin. And so this and this were the first times I've ever read these two authors, and I instantly fell in love and never looked back. Then we have more War and Peace here. This is the Rosemary Edmonds Penguin translations here, 1 and 2. I haven't read the Rosemary Edmonds. I feel like when I reread War and Peace for the third time in my life, maybe I'll do her and go like chronological after that, but who knows what I'll do. So we have that. Then we have a sad edition here. We have the Canterbury Tales, and I love the Canterbury Tales, except this book got affected, as you can see, by the spine, and it makes a nasty crack. It got affected in the Great Flood of my desk 2 years ago because I spilt a glass of water, and all my other books survived. They all survived the water damage, but this one didn't. As you can see, this is a Neville Coghill one, but I do have the original, and I don't know if I should keep the Coghill. I do like the Coghill, so maybe I will, but yeah, just looking at that, it's a bit rough, but anyway, we have that. Then we have Ovid, of course, the Metamorphoses. I've read this edition twice, so I'm due for another translation. I may pick up the Arthur Golding from the Renaissance, I think he wrote that in, or I could be wrong. But anyway, I have that too, but this is the one I love and the one I've grown accustomed to pretty much because it's very lovely. Says that who can't read the original. Then we have Miss Anna Karenina here. This is the PNV translation. I read this as a teen, devoured it in 3 days, loved it. But yeah, I very much due to go back to Anna because it's been at least 5 years, and that feels way too long to not have read Tolstoy in that while. Then we have another big one. You can see this already, but this is the P&B War and Peace. Here I haven't read it. I don't know if I'll like. I've always heard so much mixed things about the P&B. But I don't know. I can't say anything because I haven't read it yet. So when I do, I'll let you know because I really want to get to them soon because I've heard again so much. Then the last one we have here is the Divine Comedy, but this is the Henry Longfellow. Oh my god, what's Longfellow translation? And here, this is in verse. It's a very nice hardcover. It's a bit stiff, but as you heard the spine crack. But yeah, I also have. I'll put these back quickly. I also have the Mark Muser as well, and one of my big things is that I've actually never read the Divine Comedy in full. I've read Inferno again as a teen, but I never went on from that, and I feel like I'm missing out on something very big. Like kind of like me, it's kind of like me and oh my god, Virgil. How I've never read Virgil, but I read all the other like I've read Lucan. I've read all the other Greek poets and all that. Not Greek, sorry, Roman poets, but I just haven't read, the biggest one. But anyway, we'll move on from that. That's another video. Then we're going to go into anthologies, and this is fun. I love this. This is a hoot. But first we have is the two, I've showed these before, but the Northern Anthology of English Lit here. Again, massive onion skin pages, and they're great. I use them actually all the time. I always go to them within like a couple weeks just for a reference, and it's a lovely way to find new authors too. So I'm always going back to these. I love them so much. So put them there. Then we have Romanticism, an anthology of romantic poetry and verse here, and this has everyone. And yeah, I haven't gone to this one in a while, but I'm very much due for to actually go into it and take notes. So we have that. Then to the actual bottom part. And you've seen a lot of these, but it's good to have an update on them. We have the iconic 4 early poets of the early English Australian whatever. You've seen this before on my channel, iconic. If you haven't picked it up, please do, because there are some great authors in here that will never get the attention they deserve or won't get their own printing run, which makes me very sad. But yeah, pick this up because it is very iconic. So that. Then we have the Oxford Book of Essays, iconic. This was really great, especially for someone who doesn't read that much essays. I do like Montaigne and Thomas de Quincey, but outside of that, I'm not much of an essayist. I'd never liked Francis Bacon, and yeah, but this is a great companion to have as well. More Australian themed stuff here. We've got Les Murray's the Oxford Book of Australian Verse. Iconic, essential if you're gonna have one book of Australian verse, just pick up this one. Les is great in his own right too, if you want to read him as well. Then one of my favourites, it's just so heavy, but the Australian poetry since 1788. This is massive, and it literally has everyone. And it's got lovely introductions to these authors too. It's just very nice. So if you ever see this somewhere, pick it up. It's got my recommendation. And then we got this is where the author anthologies kick in. First one we have here is H.G. Wells. I know you never thought I'd actually own a H.G. Wells, but I loved him as a teen. I've read The Time Machine, The Invisible Man, and The War of the Worlds. I never read anything else from him. I never moved on. But I'm so due for a reread. Again, it's been years. I need to go back to Wells, because whenever I think of early sci-fi and all that, I just immediately pick up Jules Verne. He's always been my go-to, but I'm so due for a reread of H.G. Wells. It's not even funny at this point. And so anyway, we have that. Then we have this massive Ian Forster collection here. This has Where Angels Fear to Tread, The Longest Journey, A Room with a View, Howard's End, and a Passage to India. And one of my big, again, authors I haven't read, I've only read Maurice, whatever, by Forster. I've known nothing else about him. He's one of those like authors I've just never like encountered yet. Um, I know, and I need to change that soon because I have so many of his novels. And yeah, let me know where I should start with Forster because literally I have no clue, and I've only read his one book, that posthumous book. But anyway, we got this. Then some authors I have takes about. Um, the second last one we have here is F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is like an anthology, like a collection of all of his novels, pretty much. And this has, again, for those who don't know, this has The Great Gatsby, Tender as the Night, The Side of Paradise, The Beautiful and the Damned, The Last Tycoon. And I've read the majority of his novels. I've read The Great Gatsby, I've read Tender as the Night, and I've read The Side of Paradise. I haven't read The Last Tycoon. That is the last one I have to do. And I like The Great Gatsby. I feel like it didn't. There's moments where I really love it, but the rest of it just doesn't. It just doesn't do much for me. If I'm being honest, I've always preferred The Beautiful and the Damned. If I'm being a bit honest, or even I'll take Tender as the Night over Gatsby. If I'm being a bit honest, This Side of Paradise I literally did not like at all. I thought that was pretty trash. If I'm being honest, but I've never read The Last Tycoon. I have read like his major short stories, and if I ever see that secondhand, like a collection, I'll pick it up. But I never knew what to do. I think I'll just keep this anthology because I just have all these novels here. I won't like invest and get them separate. But yeah, so we have F. Scott, and then we have our last book today, is George Orwell, everyone's favorite author, I think. And this has all of his novels, I think. At least his fiction. This has Animal Farm, Burmese Days, a Clergyman's Daughter, Coming Up for Air, Keep the Asperity, oh, I can't even say that, Flying, and 1984. Orwell. I don't like 1984 and Animal Farm. Keep Aspirator Flying was okay. I much prefer his non-fiction, which I don't own. I literally don't own his non-fiction. And I'm always for, if I ever find, like, the Penguin essays or whatever, I feel like I would just, like, get rid of this because I'm never going to go back to Animal Farm or not. Like, maybe I'll keep this until I just read all of his fiction and maybe reread, the other two. But I don't know. I don't know. But I will always be on the hunt for his non-fiction because it's really good, if I'm being honest. But yeah, his fiction doesn't do much for me. I felt like he never trusted his audience, so everything had to be so on the nose, and I just really don't like that. But yeah, so that was Translation Station and Anthologies. Let me know what you thought about these books in the comments below. And I know I promised I was going to do my contemporary fiction table next, but I thought we'll do this one because it's a bit different. Um, but yeah, in terms of other tours I could do my non-fiction one. That's going to be fun and long. I also have my Agatha Christie collection, which is massive, and my romance, and that's scary. I literally don't know where to start with that because it's not even a shelf. It's literally a TV stand, and like all the rows are just stacked with mass markets, and then like on the top it's just stacks because there's no actual shelves, and that's scary to go through. But it's my life pretty much. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching BookTube, and I'll see you next time.